Hey guys, it's Vanessa V and welcome to my channel. Today we are talking about dealing with pandemic weight gain. It's something that I'm having to approach given the past year. Last week I shared with you guys that I had stopped working out during the pandemic. I had sort of adapted to the situation and taken steps to just sort of help me get through the experience a little bit easier. So I was kind of thinking that that might be you guys as well. Honestly, I'm not sure how I want to talk about this today. I am a little nervous talking about it, just like last week. But again, I think it's something that's really important. Really quickly, I'm Vanessa V. Hello. I am a certified group fitness instructor. There we go. I am, however, not a dietitian, and just because I'm a certified group fitness instructor does not make me a professional when it comes to food or anything like that. So everything that I'm sharing today is my own experience in hopes that it will help you to feel more empowered and inspired and not feel so alone and all that stuff. And so that's what this whole channel is about, just helping you guys out by sharing the stuff that I go through so you don't have to do as much work. Hey. Oh, and by the way, if you have a history of having a negative relationship with your body, as I have had, eating disorders, body dysmorphia, whatever it may be, today's chat, I'm not sure if it's obvious, but it may be a little triggering to some of you guys. I totally understand that. I'm feeling that way too. So just watch with care and do what you need to do. Either way, thanks so much for being here. Okay, so last week I shared with you guys that I had stopped working out during the pandemic. Working out at home was not really something that I felt was the healthiest decision for myself. So I basically decided that in order for me to feel the most balanced and the most sustainable during the pandemic, I would give up working out and I would also relax my rules about eating in order to just help me stay a little bit more buoyant. And I think all of us kind of probably did that. I don't know about you, but I gained weight. These things happen. Do I like it? No. Does it mean I'm a terrible person and cannot control myself? Definitely not. I don't know about you guys, but the pandemic definitely caused me to kind of feel like this a little bit. I was still hovering around, optimal balance, but it was definitely like, and it still is, not quite as much with the same stuff. There are so many things going on around us, right, that are feeling like they're out of control. There's a lot of energy, there's a lot of shifting and changes and unknown, not just with the pandemic or transitioning out of the pandemic we have known for basically, the past year, with more vaccinations helping to open up the economy more and things are opening up more. Society deems weight gain as a very negative thing that must be corrected immediately. Mayday, mayday, mayday situation. Go, 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 fix it now. If you don't and you've gained weight and you don't do anything about it, it means this and that and whatever. Most of the stuff's about money in my opinion, okay? It just says a lot to other people and to ourselves. That's not necessarily very positive. And so there's a lot of fear involved. There can be reasons of just wanting to get healthier, right? Because maybe we've sort of awakened to the idea that maybe we've spent the past year not being as healthy as we would have liked to, or it's sort of a new chapter where we want to use this to finally get a little bit healthier, especially if we have a summer vacation coming up or we're going to the beach. There's just a lot of pressures, a lot of changes, and because it can be so scary and triggering to see shifts in our body that we haven't necessarily meant to have happen, or maybe a little surprised when we realize that these things have occurred, that can actually, especially if we have some negative associations with those shifts or with our body and how we perceive our body with our self-worth, how people may perceive us, or how that message, how our shifts in our body may send certain messages that we don't want to other people, that can definitely cause survival mode. That can cause our brain, that we talk a lot about on this channel, to go into a survival mode state that can really therefore trigger us into irrational thinking and negative thoughts, points of views, decisions, actions, all that stuff. It feels protective. It might be a habit or a coping skill that we're used to deploying. If I hop on all of these different roller coasters to fix things that are unknowingly causing me to be afraid, like weight gain, I'm almost giving my power away to those things. And I never want to do that. You know, I want to stay in control as much as possible because that will help me, I have found, be the most balanced, feel the best, be most sustainable, be able to rely on myself more, and have more fun and all that stuff. It almost feels counterintuitive because that's not my natural inclination. My natural inclination is to not take a slow approach. It's to just jump right in and fix the problem. What I need, however, is to not do that because that's not sustainable for me. It doesn't usually feel as good. I feel like I'm yo-yoing, all that stuff. I know a lot of times when we feel inspired to work out, it's so exhilarating and exciting, and we want to just jump into it. And I've done that before. I've been there. I've been feeling that for the past like months. And I'm excited that I'm feeling that way. But I want to make sure that my energy and that excitement lasts. And if I were to throw myself right into it and use up all of that energy for pushing myself super hard and going to classes and changing my diet and all of this all at once in sort of really extreme ways, that can be really jarring for me. And even if it's not, a lot of that stuff I find is not necessarily sustainable. It doesn't last forever. And then what are you going to do when you don't feel that way anymore? And for me, it's kind of like, oh, I hate this. Why did I start doing this? Like, I'm so tired of it. And then I end up quitting or whatever, you know, and it just doesn't feel very good. And then I don't feel good about myself, you know. And so I'd rather use that energy and excitement into cultivating that and helping it grow and stick around. And I'm going to do these things that help me to feel better and lose the weight and stuff like that. And I'm going to choose activities that I do to reach those goals in a way that feels good. I'm going to make sure that the way I go about it feels good and feels exciting. And I'm going to be excited about how good this feels and blah, blah, blah. And so to me, plunging back in can be very jarring and cause us to have more problems. So my approach is going to be what I don't want it to be, but I feel like needs to be for myself, is to have a more calm, balanced, monitored, methodical approach to not only walking through the transition, hello hair, but also into getting healthier, because that is something that I would like to do and I feel ready to do. And I've experienced both reactions to wanting to work out or not. Feeling as though weight loss or getting fit is a huge mountain to climb and I just don't have it in me right now, or I'm not feeling motivated. Or I'm also feeling extra motivated, lots of energy and excitement. I felt both polar opposites and pretty much everything in between. And whether one of those or anything in between is you too, I get it. And I would have to say for myself, what's really helped me is sort of starting easy and taking it easy. That doesn't necessarily mean not doing a whole lot. It just means that the approach feels easy, because why shouldn't it? To help it be and feel easier is the goal for me, at least. It's more sustainable, feels good, it's more fun and approachable. And so whatever that looks like for you, that's what I would personally suggest, as long as it's healthy. Again, I'm not a dietitian, I'm not a healthcare professional or anything like that, but that's just what's worked for me. And I personally would like to just get healthier and lose that weight that I gained. And so I've been trying to approach my weight gain that way, where I'm very calm, pretty methodical, very analytical. I'm checking myself a lot, checking my motives, my points of views, my thoughts, my feelings, the decisions, the actions that I'm making, and really questioning them, adding in that critical thinking that we talk about on this channel pretty much every chat, and maintain a sense of balance and rationality and logic that feels really good for me. And You may find that this is way too slow, methodical, analytical. It's too much work. It's not fun. It's boring. I get that. If I was watching this, I would probably like do the usual eye roll and shut it off or whatever. Overall health and balance, I have found, is truly different for everyone at every time. It's a constant adaptation. It's a constant customizing to ourselves and our needs and situations. For me, it simplifies it down. It really does, because instead of me being so overtaken by needing to climb this mountain that is weight loss and this and that, instead it's about feeling good. I have sort of ebbed and flowed a little bit with losing weight, but I know that I am in control of where I head, and the more stronger I strengthen my foundation right now in this new little chapter, the stronger I'll be later on, and I'll be able to fall back on it a little bit, and really doing the work and giving myself the time now to sort of find my footing in this is helping me to feel amazing. And so basically that's it, you guys. Just customizing it to our own needs, focusing on feeling good, having fun with it, really experimenting and figuring out what truly works for us to be the most sustainable during this pandemic, and also with our body shifts and our weight gain, and trying to really question our thoughts, emotions, good or bad, the actions we want to take, and just making sure that they're not rooted in feeling rushed. They're not rooted in fear, but they're actually rooted in just feeling good. Thanks so much, you guys, for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you tuning in. And I hope that it helped inspire you, empower you, or to feel empowered rather, and to not feel so alone. So, mwah. I will see you guys next week. I'm sending you amazing vibes, and thanks so much for tuning in. Okay, bye guys. Yeah, look at my eyes. They're like